This presentation will help you write essay number 1. We'll be using the narration and description strategies, but keep in mind that these are just tools and it's difficult to use just one tool. When you narrate, you might be illustrating, you might be describing or defining. So while we're studying the strategies separately, we use them together. The word count range for essay number 1 is 100 to 300 words, and you will have to stay within that range. The focus is telling stories and/or describing objects. You have a choice. The number of points for this assignment is 50, and this first essay is to be presented in a discussion forum, and it's more or less a pass-fail assignment. If you do the work and if it's reasonably well done, you can expect to get the entire 50 points this week. The due date is, as usual for all essays, day 6. And it's due the first week, so it's Saturday at midnight, and you can see the calendar for the exact due date. The submission this time around, essay number 1 is different. It's to be posted in a discussion forum. There will not be a week 1 Dropbox to submit the essays, but for weeks 2 through 7 you will have a Dropbox. Now, for the topic, you have two options. Some people like to be creative. They like to tell stories, and your choice is to choose any inanimate object, not a person or an animal, any object you want, and give this object a personality by telling a story about it. The example could be a car, a room, an iPod, a piece of furniture, anything that you like, but it should be something that's special to you, maybe an engagement ring or a basketball that you used to win the game in high school, anything you like that's not human or an animal. Now, for those of you who don't like creative writing, you can write in an objective style by writing a detailed description of an object. You don't have to worry about giving it a personality or telling a story. Some examples might be a car, a bookcase, a smartphone, anything again that's not a person or an animal. I want to really emphasize this need to avoid plagiarism. In English 1180 and 1210, our first semester writing courses, we don't use sources in my classes because you haven't yet learned how to give credit to other authors. I do make an exception. One good introductory technique is to use a direct quote by a famous person, and you can do that by putting the person's name in the sentence. And I explained how to do that on the second assignment sheet. But don't do that for this essay. It won't work well. It's just an idea to keep in mind as an introductory technique for a different essay. Now, the reason most students, well, I should say the second most common reason why students fail my classes is that they plagiarize. I use Turnitin.com. There's a detailed explanation of it in the syllabus if you haven't heard of it. It will detect plagiarism, so use your own ideas, your own phrasing. Don't copy something from another student or from a website or a book. I'm sure you will regret it. As I mentioned, this essay is different. You're going to put it into a discussion forum. Therefore, your audience is the entire class. Now, when you write for an audience, one thing you consider is what is your point of view? First person would be telling it from your eyes. You'd be using words like I, me, us, we. Second person is when you write you or your. You are addressing the reader directly. Third person is when you use words like he, she, it, they. I want to emphasize that for the other essays, you'll use third person primarily. I can think of a couple exceptions. We'll go into that in the other weeks. However, most of the time you'll be using words like he, she, it, they. You will be telling it from an objective rather than a personal viewpoint. Now, the audience is, of course, college-educated adults because it's the other members of the class and me. Your tone can be whatever you like, serious, whimsical, humorous. This essay can definitely be informal. The other essays will be more formal, of course. Now, choosing the words, as I emphasized, this can be an informal assignment or formal, your choice. And as I mentioned before, you'll be using third-person pronouns and scholarly word choices in weeks 2 through 7. However, with this assignment, use correct grammar and spelling, proofread to eliminate typographical errors. But I want to mention that please, when you read the work of the other students, you may comment on the content, but don't embarrass people by writing to them about their grammar or spelling. Let me do that in a private manner. Of course, you're going to want my help to improve your writing skills, but I will be giving you that in a either in an attachment or an email. I won't say it in a public forum. So please remember, when you read the stories and the descriptions of other students, read it for the content, not to mark it up for the grammar or the spelling. Now, we're starting to learn, I hope, this is just a review for you, but we're studying paragraphing. For this assignment, 2 paragraphs at least are required, and you'll want a topic sentence in the paragraph. That's the sentence that tells the reader what the central idea is, and only have one idea in that paragraph. Follow up with supporting details. When you change to a different topic, start a new paragraph. What we've been talking about in the previous slide was paragraphing, and when we paragraph, we're actually creating structure. For this assignment, you'll write at least 2 paragraphs, and you will have a logical connection between them. Some examples could be, say you want to write a story or a description of a car, 1 paragraph on the exterior and 1 on the interior. That would seem logical. Suppose you want to write about your diamond ring, 1 paragraph on the setting, 1 on the diamond. Maybe you want to write about a baby's crib, 1 paragraph on the crib, the frame, and the other on the sheets and the blanket. You just need a logical connection so that you have 2 paragraphs at least. Now, I have hoped to set this assignment up in a way that doesn't intimidate you. As I mentioned on the first slide, 50 points, and it's pretty much a pass-fail assignment as long as you make a good effort and you complete it on time. However, you might still be a little concerned, intimidated, and if you are, this would be a good time to call me and we'll discuss your feelings about writing and how we can eliminate any obstacles, because it's difficult to be a good college student and or a good writer when you're nervous about it. So I was a college student taking this same writing class years ago, many years ago, but it's not so long ago that I can't put myself into your place and understand how you feel about taking a writing course. So I'm here as your partner to work with you to improve your writing, and as a working, collaborating partner, I'm here to discuss any concerns you have. There's 2 ways to contact me. One is by phone, and the number's on the syllabus, and the other is by the Angel course mail or the email. Either way, or use both, whatever works for you. But don't procrastinate because you're stressed out about writing an essay. Instead, pick up the phone or send me an email so that we can keep you on track. This 8 weeks course goes by very quickly. I'm really looking forward to it, and especially to reading your first essays.